Hello Year 4, this is your guided reading video, and we're going to start our new book called Erik the Viking, the saga of Erik the Viking. Okay, now for guided reading you would normally have a book yourself. That's fine. What you're going to do is you're going to listen to me read it, you're going to make notes if you think anything I say is important about Erik or there's something that happens to Erik, okay? And then you're going to answer the questions that I have put up for guided reading. Okay, so this is the first chapter. The chapters are quite short, okay, so it's not a big read like The Abominables was, okay. So the first chapter is called Erik and the Storm, and it's only 2.5 pages, this chapter, okay. So Erik and the Storm. This is the tale of a Viking warrior who lived hundreds and hundreds of years ago. His name was Erik. His ship was called Golden Dragon, and its figurehead was a fierce monster carved out of wood and covered with gold leaf. One day Erik said to his wife, "I must find the land where the sun goes at night." But his wife replied, "No one has ever been to that far country, and of those who have tried, few have ever returned." "You are right," said Erik, "but until I have sought that distant land, I shall never sleep in my bed again." So he called his son, who was 15 years old, and told him he must guard their home by day and night. Then he took his sword, which was called Blue Blade, stepped on board Golden Dragon, and sailed off towards the setting sun. That night they sailed on far from land, and Erik stood at the helm of Golden Dragon, gazing into the darkness. Erik's men whispered to each other that they were seeking the land where the sun goes at night, and that no one had ever found it and lived to tell the tale. Just then a bright green light appeared above them, and a star shaped like a dragon leapt across the sky. Erik turned to his men and said, "We shall find what we seek," and no one dared say a word after that. The next morning they found themselves along the ocean, with great waves heaving the ship up and down. Erik looked up into the sky and smelt the wind. "We shan't make it," whispered Erik's men, one to the other, as the storm clouds blotted out the sun. "We'll be wrecked at sea," they murmured, as the first drops of rain fell on the deck. "There's land," called out Erik. "Take down the sails. We'll have to row for it." They leant on their oars as the rain began to pour down on them, and the speck of land on the horizon got bigger as the skies got darker and the sea grew rougher. But they rowed with all their might and all their main, and as the lightning forked across the heavens, and the thunder rolled them, they got closer and closer to land. "Rocks to port!" cried the lookout, and the helmsman steered Golden Dragon round to starboard. "Rocks to starboard!" cried the lookout, and Golden Dragon swung back to port again. "Look out ahead!" cried Erik, and the golden monster on the helm scraped against the rocks as the sea dragged them down and threw them up again. "We've had it now," cried Erik's men one to another, and they shut their eyes. "Keep rowing!" cried out Erik, and he steered the ship between the rocks and the boiling sea, until all at once they found themselves in a deep board. One by one Erik's men opened their eyes, the rain still pouring down on them, and the lightning lit up the wild rocks above them. But the water was calm, and now they were safe. "Now we must sleep," said Erik, "but tomorrow we shall repair Golden Dragon before we dare go back on the high seas." His men laid the mast down and threw the sails across it like a tent, and there they slept for the rest of the stormy night. So that was chapter 1. So now you're going to go onto your guided reading slides and answer your guided reading questions for Erik and the Storm. Now, this week's guided reading lessons, okay, there we're going to be looking at the 2 chapters. So the next chapter, it will be Erik and the Enchantress of the Fjord. Okay, so you're going to have to watch the second video, but again, the chapters are not very big. Okay, thank you, Year 4.